And there's some bad news for tens of thousands of Obamacare enrollees. Word now that they are losing out on critical tax credits that could double, in some cases, the cost of their plans. This as the president goes out on the road after last night's speech. Senator John Barrasso is the chairman of the Senate Republican Policy Committee, and he joins me now. The president will be out in Nebraska and in Louisiana. He's going to be talking about what he sees as a very successful rollout of the Obamacare plan. And no doubt this becomes a central issue in the election ahead. Senator, good morning to you. What do you think about that?
Well, thank you, Martha. You know, as a doctor, my goal is to get more patients, better care at lower costs. And Obamacare has failed at that. It's too costly, it's too complicated, and most people don't like it because they think that for them personally, it's a bad deal.
But there are 18 million people who are now covered. This is the administration's argument. And that inflation in this area has slowed, that they say jobs have been added over the course of this time. So they will argue that the idea that, companies won't hire because of this, they say is a non-starter. And there's no doubt that you can hear Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or whoever it turns out to be on the Democratic side. They're going to say, don't vote for the Republicans because they're going to take this away from you.
Well, the president always uses the word covered instead of the word care. And as a doctor, I focused on the word care, actually getting people health care. So many of those with this new coverage are on Medicaid, which is a system that is broken, much harder for those people to actually get to the doctor that they need or want or choose. And the number of people that have signed up is actually about 10 million below what they predicted even a year ago they would be at. So people are making a decision that it's not good for them because even if they may have the coverage, the deductibles are so high, the co-pays are so high that for many of them, they're not able to get to see a doctor even though they have insurance that complies with the law, not insurance that's good for them personally.
All right, so you're betting that people's experience has not been positive, so that, with the time that has passed under this plan, when they hear these arguments during the election, they're not going to go for it? You think that's true?
Well, that's what I hear all around the state of Wyoming. I traveled the state last week. I'll be home this weekend again. People feel that they're paying much more. Even people that are getting the subsidies have seen their rates go up. And the president now is going to Nebraska today and Louisiana. I bet he's not going to talk about the fact that the co-ops in both of those states have failed and have shut down. I bet he's not going to talk about the fact that in both of those states, even the cheapest, the bronze plan, those rates have gone up double digits last year. So people on the ground where the president's going to be are knowing the significant impacts and the cost to their own pocketbooks of this very expensive health care law, which forces them to buy government-mandated insurance, which really doesn't help them get care.
According to the numbers, as you point out, more than half of the co-ops that were put in place have now failed. And also, the reason that some people's premiums are going to go up is because they're not going to get their subsidies. And in many of those cases, it's because they didn't file their tax returns. So that's a bit of a double-edged sword as well that raises questions. Thanks so much, Senator. Good to see you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha.